Let's give you the markets update. Now the Rand trading at near 10-month lows before widely anticipated rates meeting later this afternoon. Now the local currency trading at its weakest level since January and is under strain from pressure on the Turkish lira. For a look now at how the markets have opened in early trade, we are joined by Makwe Masilela, Chief Investment Officer at Makwe Fund Managers. Mr. Masilela, thank you very much for your time. Give us your sense of how the markets have opened this morning, particularly ahead of the Reserve Bank's rates decision.
Good morning, Goli. Markets after closing flat yesterday, unfortunately this morning we opened almost 0.4% down, and that's more in line what is happening with our international peers. And yes, because of this uneasiness is starting to creep in when it comes to interest rate outlook. And it's not only about us back home here, also the issue when it comes to Turkey as well. And because of inflation concerns, remember at some point we thought that this inflation, or we bought into the story that inflation is temporary, so we are starting to worry that probably interest rates might have to be going up sooner than we anticipated. So that itself is causing some uneasiness when it comes to market players.
Is that your anticipated view that we might see interest rates being hiked this afternoon? What about those who say that possibly we might see them being left where they are, unchanged?
What I know for certain, Cole, is that definitely we're not going to get an interest rate cut. But look what is happening with Canada. Canada are starting to say that they are very close to increasing interest rates. The UK last time when they had their meeting, we expected them to increase rates. Brazil has been continuing to increase interest rates. The Turkey itself is doing the opposite, is cutting rates. But because of inflation concerns, and we've seen our inflation is still at elevated levels, still within the target of 3 to 6%. But remember, our Reserve Bank doesn't have a dual mandate. But whenever they make those decisions, they consider the economic outlook, the employment, economic growth. But as things stand now, most probably they will just leave it to enjoy our Christmas and not increase interest rates now. But what will be more important is their outlook going forward, because they also don't want to be behind the curve. So they have to act when the time is right.
Dr. Masilela, please, man. Can we enjoy our Christmas, please? Let's talk company news. Today, MTN announcing the group's exit from the Yemen operations. Now, the exit from the Middle East is going to be effective, well, it was effective yesterday. Talk us through this move and, importantly, its significance to the operations over strategy.
I think let's start by saying Middle East itself has been very troublesome for MTN for the past 15 years, from allegations of corruption, bribery, sanction busting, and the Middle East has been contributing almost 4% to the earnings of the group revenue. And when you look at Yemen itself, it only contributes 0.3% to the EBITDA of the group. And MTN did announce sometime last year in August that they'll be exiting Yemen, the Middle East as well, so that they can focus on their strategy of looking into the Pan-African territory, and also it's in line with what they call their Ambition 2025. So that's more in line and it was expected. But as we said, it doesn't make much of a dent, even though MTN shareholding there was almost 82.8%. So they've transferred that to one of the minority shareholders.
Yeah, finally, let's talk Tongaat Hewlett's market value, almost halving yesterday as it proposed getting a further 4 billion rand from its shareholders to cut its crippling debt pile. Talk us through the latest developments there.
Remember, their debt piles was sitting at almost 7.2 billion, but we have to give it to them because since 2.5 years back, when they start implementing the strategy, the guys have managed to cut the debt by almost 42%. Raising money as a form of rights issue is dilutive, so hence we saw the share price at some point going down by 50%, and it closed down almost 23%. This morning opened down 1%, because all it says to you, Tol, is that you are looking to raise 4 billion, and as we are talking now, the market value of that company is just under 1 billion, even though we know that their property value is at almost 8.5 billion. But the issue here, it means when we start sharing profits or earnings, then we'll be having more shareholders sharing into that very same pie. Hence hence we saw the share price going down. Hence we always say that rights issues are very dilutive. What will help them, that's if we see a lot of people subscribing to those shares as they are underwritten by one of the shareholders and also their strategic partner.
Makwe Masilela, thank you very much for that markets update. Chief Investment Officer at Makwe Fund Managers. Thank you very much for your time.